Winners of four straight, the volleyball team hosts a pair of matches at the Fieldhouse this weekend. Michigan comes to town on Friday for a 7 p.m. start, while UW hosts Michigan State on Sunday at noon. That match will be televised live on ESPN2. Head coach Kelly Sheffield is here. We'll have some opening comments and take questions.
Thanks, Brian. First of all, played in front of a couple sold-out crowds this past week. Really appreciative of the fan support and the energy that they bring to us in the field house. It's we'll never take that for granted. I feel like we're probably about a month ago we were beginning the season. We're a team that really seemed to be leaning on pretty much the one player that was consistent at the net was probably Haley Nelson, and it feels like we're starting to get some other pieces to the puzzle that are stepping up their game and playing better and performing at a more consistent level. It feels like we can go to a lot of different places at a lot of different times, and depending on the opponent and what our strategy is, that we can we've got some options. And so we feel like we're heading in the right direction, and we've got Michigan State this weekend. Michigan, we were a really good team that we were in a couple battles with. I think we were 2 points away from losing at their place in 5 last year, and so we know how talented they are and how many different attackers they bring. And Michigan State, there's probably not too many teams that are more physical than what they are. So we're excited about getting back on the train and preparing for this week.
You moved Madison into the serving rotation a few weeks ago and kind of had her moments each way. It seems like the last 2-3 matches she's had nice runs for you, and also ended up back serving at critical points in matches too. Just her progress in that role.
Yeah, really happy with the direction Madison is going. I mean, she wants to be on the court, and she's a hard worker, a good kid, and when she goes for it, she's got a pretty nasty serve, and that's one of the things I've joked around with her a little bit is, sometimes her serve, it comes from the child's menu, and so we talked to her about let's get rid of the corn dogs and the macaroni and cheese and the applesauce and things like that, and let's start serving from the adult menu, and putting some pace on the ball and really doing something with it and take some chances. And when she does that, that ball dances for her, and the next key, is you serve and go and defend. And the first match or two, she'd put a good serve in, and then ball would hit about 2 inches away from her, and she'd, looks like a bullfighter, with her Olay. And so, the past couple matches she got down there and she's made some good digs, and we've had some long scoring runs off of that. And, you mentioned she's had a couple times where the games were on the line or right there at the match or coming out of a timeout, and the kids executed in those situations. And, I think that what that does is it just builds confidence in your teammates that, hey, these big situations, I've got ice in my veins.
I think it was last week you said it's one thing to win, but it's a lot better to win and play well. Throughout this 4-match winning streak you guys are on, how do you feel like you've played well, or how do you feel like you've played while winning?
Yeah, I think we're getting I think defensively we're starting to become the type of team that we want to be. I don't think we were that the first part of the season. We were learning the effort that you had to put into defense to be the type of team that we want to be. There's a really big difference when I was talking with the team last week when we're holding teams to 180 or below. I think we're like 13-1. I think we're like 15-1 or something like that right now. And when they're hitting above 180, I think we're like 1-5 or something. So that's an area that when we are defending that we can be pretty good. I think we've gotten better in that. I think we've gotten a lot better attacking out of system, and probably part of that is when Lauren's running off the net, I think there's probably putting up a better ball for these hitters. These hitters aren't getting blocked as much. They're not just going low seam and blasting it into the block with their eyes closed. They're going and attacking high, hitting the other areas of the court, maybe living to see another day after that. I'd probably say those are the areas that we're getting a little bit better at in the past month.
We've talked a little bit about schedules the last couple of weeks. Will we ever see a Big Ten volleyball postseason tournament?
Maybe. I mean, there's been a lot of discussion, and I've got mixed thoughts on it. I think quite a few coaches do. That the tough thing is that it's during that time, you're in school. There is you can't play. Is it everybody that's in? Is it only half the teams that are in? Nobody wants to go in the NCAA tournament the week after, and you just played 4 or 5 matches in a row on 4 or 5 days, and now you've got no legs because you've jumped like crazy. And then if that happens over the Thanksgiving holiday, where are you playing at, and what crowd is going to be showing up for it? And so, do you do it somewhere neutral, like maybe somewhere in Chicago over Thanksgiving weekend and some of the travel and the weather uncertainty, and you play in front of maybe 1,000 people, or do you go to Madison or Omaha or something where you can pack the place, but I don't think the other schools are going to be too jacked up about playing there. I think it would be awesome. I think it would just be a really, really cool event, and I'm not sure it'll happen.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kelly.